All right, Perch. I'm very interested to go over the laning stage of this one and see where we fucked up so bad. Because
Sure.
there's a big difference between I mean, I just felt powerless in that situation, so I want to know what we could have done better.
I think what basically happened was you kind of got scared and you didn't really all in ever was part of
I
it.
mean, if you look at it, I'm excited to see you looking at it because it just felt like I couldn't trade with Lena despite healing her and right-clicking her and eating tangles. She was just outing me.
Yeah, she was going to
But
probably because she has really high base armor. Her base armor is I think like 4.7. She has almost 5 armor at level 1, which is insane for a ranged hero. And then if we look at your armor, Warlock is like 1 something. Sorry, 2.6. So you have less armor than her, so any trading that you do is always going to be disadvantageous.
hmm.
She also has, you guys have about the same base damage. Your attack speed is 1.7. Her attack speed's slightly faster. Her animation sucks, but... So it's basically like she has more armor than you. On the bright side,
You
you have a lot
memorize
more
this
health.
kind of shit, or how do
I'm
you know
looking.
that?
Look at my screen. Heroes.
No.
I'm finding Warlock, and then I'm going to the About tab. And on the right, it shows all your
hmm
base stats. You have 720 health. I mean, generally in the past I would. This is like more newish, but yeah, past years, you just get used to like what is good at the time. 2.6 armor, about 55 damage. Here's your attack speed, attack range, movement speed, etc.
Huh. And that stuff matters, huh?
Yes, because more armor means that she takes less physical damage, which means that when you and her are hitting
Oh.
each other in the face, even if you do equal damage and attack equally fast, she's still gonna take like 10% less damage, 15% less damage than you will. So that's a small amount of it, is that it looks like your hits do less, because they do, but it's also that you probably didn't trade effectively. You made mistakes. You got scared. There's probably a lot of cases where she would attack you 3 times. You'd only attack her twice because you got scared. Boom, she wins the
Well,
trade.
let's just see. There's a big claim there that I got scared. We'll take a look. So, okay. I'm gonna ask some questions. I don't want you to make fun of me.
Okay,
These
I'll
are
do my
real
best.
questions. All right. What do agility do?
Okay. Agility
Since we're on
is
stats.
sure. One sec, let me get out of the screen.
For example, when I see the Ags thing
Mm-hmm.
and you're buying all those different swords, they're meaningless to me. They're just parts that build the Ags. But
Okay.
to a lot of people, like the tranquil boots, I mean, like the power treads, the whole things, the colors mean a lot to people.
Mm-hmm.
What give me talk to me
Okay.
through
Do you
that
see
shit.
do you
What
see
is
my
all
screen
that?
here? Hovering over the
Okay,
attributes.
hold on. All right, here we go.
So every point of
Talk attributes.
and just hover just hover your mouse. Okay, see? Every point of strength that you get on any hero gives you 20 health, 0.09 health regen, and 0.08 magic resistance. So if you get 10 strength, that's 200 health. It is zero point 0.9 HP per second, and it's 0.8% magic resistance. So that's an ogre club.
So this is why I don't know anything about this because these numbers don't mean anything to me. Well, what does all this mean? How does this help me get better? When
So
would I be on an agility boot on a
so
triangle?
what's better to have? A vitality booster that gives you 250 health and costs 1100 gold, or is it better to have an ogre club which costs 1000 gold and gives you 10 strength?
Uh, I do not know.
So a vid
What is?
boost. Here's the comparison. A vitality booster gives you 250 health. An ogre club
Yes.
only gives you 200 because we can multiply the strength number 10 by how much health it gives per strength. That's 20.
Now, does that change on different heroes? On a
It
pudge,
it did
is this?
it did 8-9 months ago, but they changed it back. Now it's the same on any hero. 1 point of strength
Okay.
on any hero will give you 20 health, 0.09 health regen. Basically, you should look at it as health. Don't worry too much about the health regen or the magic resistance. Mostly the health. 10 points of strength gives you 200 health. So if you have a hero whose talent says 10 strength, you know that it's going to
Yeah.
give you 200 health. All right, here's agility. Each point of agility gives you 1 attack speed, 0.16 armor, and 0.05% movement speed. So I think the way that math works out is, I think it's like 5 points of armor or something. What's that? No, 6. Okay, so every 6 agility that you get, every 6.25 agility you get gives you 1 armor. That's why agility heroes have a lot of armor in the late game, naturally, is because
Huh.
they gain a lot of agility. You see,
Okay.
you understand attribute gains, I assume, right? Right here. The
Yes.
left number is what you start with. The right number is what you
Yeah.
gain every time you level up. So Warlock has
Okay.
really bad agility gain, which means that he doesn't get very much armor naturally or attack speed naturally just by leveling up.
All right. All right. Now here's a big question. What is more important, armor or health? Let's say I'm an axe. It's late game. In what situation do I get a Heart of Tarask, and in what situation do I get a Shiva's Guard? Because one gives a lot of HP, raw, and one gives a lot of armor.
Okay.
How do you make that distinction?
Okay. So let's say you have 2,000. Let's say you have 1,000 on Axe, 1,000 health on Axe to make it simple. Okay. This number is approximate because they changed the armor calculation recently. It scales a little bit differently, but generally every point of armor that you gain increases your estimated hit points by 5%. So that doesn't mean that your health goes up by 5%. It means that if you have 1,000 HP, 1 point of armor will effectively mean that you have to take 1,050 points of damage instead of 1,000. So here's an easier number. If you get a plate mail, which is 10 armor, that's 10 times
What the fuck are we
10
talking? What?
10 times 5. Yeah. So basically a plate mail will give you 50% more health against physical damage. Does that make sense? Because it gives you 10 armor. That's 50% more health. So if you have 1,000 health, that's
Against
effectively
physical damage.
against only physical damage. So if you're against a heavy physical lineup and you buy a plate mail, it's going to increase the amount of damage you can. It basically effectively counts as half of your health increase. So now we can do the math. If you have 1,000 health,
Okay. Yeah.
and you get a plate mail, it increases your health by 500 effectively against physical damage. But if you have less health, let's say you only have 500 health and you buy a plate mail, it only gives you 250 extra health basically. So basically like early game, health items are generally better than armor items, although it's good to buy some armor items. And in late game, usually armor can be really good. But
Now, why do you say that though?
Because it depends on what kind of damage you're taking. You're not only going to take physical damage. You're going to take some spell damage. You're going to take some pure damage. You might take.
All right.
Maybe there's other situations like minus armor is going to make them deal more physical damage. Armor counters minus armor, for example. Magic resistance counters magic resistance reduction, like Pugna. People that buy Veil, if you buy magic resistance against that, it makes those less effective. It's the same for armor, basically. So sometimes that changes stuff if there's amplifiers.
So if I'm in a game and I'm Axe, I'm doing good, and I'm up against a decent amount of magical burst damage throughout the game, I should get a heart because my max HP is done, and armor wouldn't really change too much about what happens to me, or if they're dealing a lot of pure damage.
Pure damage heart is the best solution, other than maybe a BKB potentially.
But if I'm up against, let's say, a PA or a Templar, armor is the way to go because I'm really worried about dying to that right clicker. So you get armor items when you're worried about agility heroes. You get health boost when you're worried about pretty much everything else. So why is armor so important? Because you talk about it all the time, but it seems like it only really counters one sort of character.
Armor is typically better against is typically better on core heroes than supports. And that's usually because core heroes are more focused kind of supports. It's cheaper for you as a support to buy Glimmer Cape and go invisible for 5 seconds, because when you're invisible, you're invincible. You know?
Sure.
So like if Storm jumps on you and you get your Glimmer off, that's fucking amazing. Because now he's wasted 5 seconds. He has to wait 5 extra seconds to kill you, which means his BKB lasts possibly 5 seconds less before he gets you destroyed, you know? So that's why things like Glimmer Cape, Force Staff, Ghost Scepter are so good on supports. Because rather than try to buy HP and armor and magic resistance, you can just buy like one item that particularly counters what you're up against, and it helps buy you seconds. That could mean an ally covers you, or maybe it wastes their BKB timing, or stuff like that. That's why on supports those are better. On cores, where you have lots of money and gold, buying like defensive items makes more sense typically, because people are going to gank you You can't always defend yourself with a BKB before they initiate on you, so resistances can be nice. That's another example.
Yeah. Now I'm asking these questions because I think one of the big things that a lot of people struggle with as they go up in MMR is actually understanding what items are good in what scenario. I mean, you just kind of buy an item because it's a big item and it's very expensive, but
Yep.
I think it's important to know this kind of stuff. For example, I hardly ever buy Solar Crest, and it's a very good item because of armor reduction. And now I think I understand why.
Not just that. It also gives attack speed to the person you put it on. Like a shitload. It gives them like 80 attack speed or something.
That's pretty good.
So you could basically, you put it on the guy that's hitting a building, and it gives them 8 armor and 80 attack speed.
But this makes sense, though, because if you're trying to kill a carry hero, typically they're going to build a lot of items, or their agility hero that gives them a bunch of passive armor. And being able to pierce through that with a Solar Crest as a support is super important, even though it doesn't look like it has this huge effect. It's not as impressive as like a giant stun or something, but still, it like can melt through people, which is good.
I would sort of disagree. So the way that the armor equation works is minus armor works a lot better if people have low amounts of armor. The closer you get to 0 armor or negative armor, the more damage it does. So if people have like 50 armor and you buy a Solar Crest to counter them, that's not really a good solution, because they already have so much fucking armor that you don't get them close to that 0% where it does a lot. So I would argue Solar Crest isn't good at countering agility heroes. What's good at killing agility heroes is usually raw damage, and the reason, or disable, because it prevents them from using items. And the reason that it is good against those heroes is, let's go back to stats again. Let's grab an example. How about Phantom Assassin? Let's grab a better one. TERRORBLADE.
Okay.
Look at TERRORBLADE's stat gain. He's got 1.7 strength per level.
That's really good. That's crazy.
No, his strength gain is garbage, actually. He's got amazing agility gain.
I was looking at agility. Sorry, yes.
He's got amazing agility gain.
Very good.
He's got 10.5 base armor, for God's sake. He's got insane fucking armor, but his health isn't high. So if we take a TERRORBLADE, am I still in a game? What's going on? Oh, I opened the replay. Let's close that temporarily.
All right, so if we take
TERRORBLADE, he's got way less health than he has armor, and his magic resistance is way lower. So if I level up to 25, I've only got 1300 health. And look at my physical. See the numbers under defense? Physical resistance 68%, magic 28. Means any physical damage you're dealing, only 32% of it gets through. But if you use a spell, I'm getting 78 of that. No, 72, I was right. 72 of that goes through. So you're doing a lot more damage with magic. Okay, so agility.
That's like kind of how. Go ahead.
Agility heroes typically, basically any hero typically gets the most attribute of their primary attribute. So agility heroes typically get a lot of agility. Int heroes get a lot of int. Strength heroes get a lot of strength. So that means agility heroes are going to get a lot of attack speed and armor from their agility, but that means that their raw health isn't very good. So that's why hero agility carries are usually weaker to burst heroes. Strength carries, not very weak to burst, because they have so much raw HP, because every point of strength gives them more health. And let me finish on attributes. Every point of int, 12 mana, 0.05 mana regen, very little, and 0.07 spell amp. So 10 intelligence gives you 120 mana. It gives you 0.5 mana per second, and it gives you 0.7% spell amp. It's really bad, the spell amp, but it adds up. So, and the last thing to remember is that every point of attribute that you get in your primary attribute gives you 1 damage. So every point of int an int hero gets, they get these bonuses, but they also get 1 damage. An agility hero gets these bonuses, and they get 1 damage. So agility heroes get attack speed and damage from agility. That's why agility items are really good for agility carries, because they get attack speed and damage. Strength heroes, if you only buy strength items on strength carries like Dragonite, it's not very good, because you have a lot of damage and health, but you don't have any attack speed. That's why heroes like Dragonite buy like ACs, Mjolnirs, that kind of a thing. Does that make sense?
Okay, cool. Yes, this all makes sense, and it's important to know, because like, let's take Timbersaw for an example. Timbersaw has like always been a mystery to me. Why am I dying so fast depending on different heroes? But because all of his skills are dependent on like,
they all do pure damage.
Yeah, so it just cuts through specific heroes more. But doesn't he have stuff that like does something based on your?
Yes, his first skill, Whirling Death. So
Whirling Death
reduces your primary attribute by up to 16%. So that means against a strength hero, it's going to lower your health by a lot. Like, let's say you have 100 strength. If you remove 16 of it, it's going to lower how much your current health is, I think is how it works, by 320 health temporarily. which in the moment is a massive amount for burst. So against strength heroes, Timber is really good. If he uses Whirling Death against int heroes, you're going to have less mana temporarily. Against agility heroes, less armor, less damage, less attack speed. But you really only notice it on strength heroes because you die a lot quicker.
Exactly. So Lifestealer's the same way. Like Lifestealer could just man up against a Pudge when no one else can because he does the same kind of stuff, doesn't he?
No, that's not right. That's wrong. I see why you think it's that way, but it's not. His is different. He does damage based on how much total health they have. He is good against Pudge, but it's because Pudge has a lot of health. So it's kind of similar, but not really. So basically, the more health they have, he does an extra percentage-based damage nuke to them that also heals them.
Is there anybody else that's like Timber, though?
SLARK is the main one. Every time he hits you with Essence Shift, he takes one of your attributes away out of all three, and he gives himself 3 agility. So you're losing one strength.
It's just random what he takes?
No. You lose 1 strength, 1 agility, and 1 int per attack. That's why he makes it so you can't cast spells sometimes, because he lowers your mana pool. That's why he does a lot of damage to tanky heroes. And when he gives himself 3 agility, that's 3 more attack speed, that's 3 more damage, that's half of an armor more. So that's why Slarks, when they've stolen a lot of stats, are really scary, because they have fucking insane attack speed, they have insane armor, and they're just going to steal all your stats. And they're going to attack faster, which is going to steal stats faster. That's why in Underlords, why Slark slowly ramps up. It's the same principle.
Sure.
Because he's slowly buffing himself. Undying lowers your strength. Yep, that's a great example. Yeah. Undying lowers strength by 4.
Well, I always knew how this worked, but I didn't by playing, but I didn't know the actual mechanics behind it. So that's important, good stuff to know. And it also explains why people buy the different kinds of swords. You know, the Kaya Yasha. They're probably going to buy 2 swords that work towards their hero's primary attribute.
Benefit. Yes.
Yes.
So what would agility heroes buy if they wanted to buy some?
I don't remember the names of the swords because I never buy them. But they're going to buy the green one.
Yeah.
They're going to buy the green one. They're going to buy probably the red one.
Unless they have spells to cast, then they might buy Kaya. Like OD will buy Yasha Kaya because he wants to attack fast because he does most of his damage with his first skill is Orb. And he wants some movement speed because that's good when you're chasing people. And he wants to buy Kaya because it gives him Spell Amp, which is good when he throws his Orb and ultis and stuff. But like a Lifestealer would never buy Kaya because he doesn't need Spell Amp or mana cost reduction or int. Int isn't that useful for him. It's better for him to have strength, stats resistance, damage, all that stuff.
But now I know why. I always knew this, but now I know why.
So basically, you basically need to look at what something has to realize if it's worth buying is what's important. And the reason, do you understand now why I would have you buy, why I was yelling at you about the eggs components? Because Ogre Club,
because you want things that complement your attribute the most. If I'm a strength support, getting a red club first is more important sometimes than getting a blue club. Yes.
Generally, because not only does it give you 200 health, but it also gives you damage if you're a strength hero, for example. Like if you're a lion and you buy the Blade of Alacrity first, I'm mad because that gives you 1.5 armor and 10 attack speed and a tiny bit of movement speed. It's awful. You don't want this item to fill up your inventory when it could be a point booster. That gives you 175 health and 175 mana. That's almost as good as both of these together. This is 200 health. This is 120 mana. Point booster gives all of that for 1 item slot. It's more efficient to buy the point booster first, unless you're a strength hero or unless you really need a bigger mana pool and want the bonus damage.
God, I would argue with you that blue stick is very good if you're a support, if you're playing on going eggs, because of its versatility.
But most supports are worried about survivability because they don't want to get killed at the start of the fight. They want to be able to survive through to cast their spells. That's usually more important. Usually they can solve mana problems with an Arcane Boots. That'll cover your mana problems easily. It's like, what is 120 mana gonna change, you know?
Well, I'm saying, if you need to abandon the Ags, then getting the blue is important. You can't really abandon Ags with any of the other items.
You just shouldn't really be abandoning Ags, to be honest, but I get your point.
So shit happens.
It's like, if you're going to buy the eggs, buy the eggs. Buy the point booster, stay alive, keep building. It's not hard to build this item, you know? You can get a point booster if you have another slot, get an Ogre Axe, and just wait till you get 2,000 gold, and you finish it, you know?
Got it. Okay, interesting.
So, do you understand why Iron One branches are good now?
Yes, because they increase your stats, and for some heroes that's a big deal. Like for strength heroes, Ironwood
Oh,
branches
no,
are probably really good.
they're good on the Ironwood branch. Does the same for every hero, basically.
Yeah, but some stats are better than others, I think.
Yeah, but it gives one to all attributes for any
Yeah.
hero, no matter what you are. So it's the same for everybody.
See, like I've never bought a Bloodthorn before, but now it makes sense. You get a Bloodthorn on an intelligence hero
Yeah.
like Storm. That's a great item
And
for Storm
how
because
much damage does he get?
it's plus 68, but he gets intelligence and he gets attack speed.
And the
So
intelligence is also damage on an int hero.
right, so that's a
So
lot.
it's what,
Yes.
93 damage? 93 damage on an int hero. Yeah.
All right.
That's why
I'm
Orchid
starting
is
to understand why I get items. This
Orchid
is
is the
good.
same. Orchid is a 55 damage item on int heroes. But if you buy it on somebody that isn't an int hero, it's only 30 damage. It's less good.
Oh, now I understand Dragonlance. Plus 12 agility, plus 12 strength. That's why Pangoliers and shit get that because it's really
Not
good.
Pangolier. Dragonlance? No.
Well, Dragonlance, whatever. Who gets that shit? Agility hero? Somebody used to spam that all the time.
Like
Wasn't the meta like
Luna's,
4 Dragonlance or
Terrorblades.
whatever?
Agility range carries. 4 Dragonlances? Who would...
Yeah, people
It was
used
like
to do that shit all the time.
Terrorblades maybe, because it used to give a lot more agility and strength. It's only 1900 gold and it would give you 15
Yeah.
agility and 15 strength. It was so valuable for the gold per stat bonus that they didn't need the int, they didn't care about int, so they could just buy Dragonlances. Like look at Ultimate Orb.
Oh, look at Scotty plus 25 all attributes.
Yes.
That's fucking crazy. Woo!
Oh, Meepos, that's right, it was Meepos. Yeah, that we're buying. Yeah, Scotty is a lot of health. It gives you a little bit of attack speed and quite a bit of mana, but it's not a good damage item. It's like utility and tankiness. So then once you understand what all the attributes do, you can kind of categorize each item into what it's good for. Like if I'm trying to do a lot of damage, I won't buy Scotty, but if I'm worried about getting bursted and I'm playing against a lot of ranged heroes that it's good at slowing, then I'm going to maybe buy Scotty to fit it into my item build.
Okay. I'm starting to understand now. This is all very good. Late game
new
item
experience.
purchases, I literally have no idea what I was doing. So
Yeah.
this is important to know. So for a
can tell.
Scotty, it's like you get a lot more health, but it also has a little bit of a rundown potential. For like Heart, it's straight up 45 strength. You're just getting a bunch more health, and that's great. Especially on strength heroes, Heart is very good.
Because you get 45 damage with it, right? Which is pretty good.
Now what is Techies? Give me a sec.
What is Techie?
Heart good on techies? Is he
No.
a strength hero? No. Heart's not good on techies. Okay, yes. That makes sense.
Techies is an int hero.
He's an int hero.
You didn't know
Okay. Well, no, I mean, techies can be anything.
What kind of
Is
hero is
Techies?
Omni-Knight? I mean, there's fucking categories, man. It's strength, agility,
Strength?
intelligence. you literally pick from a category.
I never
It
noticed
says
that before.
strength.
I didn't know what that means. I just didn't understand. Well, now this makes a lot more sense. Okay. Cool. Well, I know a lot more now. Thank you. Thank
man.
you.
Okay, so what do power treads do?
Okay, great question. Now, I noticed things about power treads on my own without the explanation. For example, if I want my health and mana to go up faster, I go to agility.
Mm-hmm.
If I want more things to cast, I go to blue. And if I want to live and have health, I go to red.
So why?
And I never knew
Why
why.
is that now? Do you want to explain it for
Because
everybody?
they beef up different attributes of your character.
Uh-huh.
So if you're a strength, the mana boost should probably be staying on the attribute that your character is, unless you need specific things. Like if you need a mana boost, you switch it over to int.
Why would you leave it on the one that your hero is?
Because it amplifies what you're already good at more.
Oh, well, it gives you damage. You're kind of
Okay.
you're very close to the right answer, but it's because you get damage from your primary attribute. So a techies with int treads on gets 10 more damage for attacking. So you farm a little bit faster, for example. You do more damage to towers, that kind of a thing. But yeah, you're
That's
right.
Dumb. Yeah.
So the reason that it works is it increases your int, so you have a bigger mana pool. The reason that that tread switching works, this is basically the same as dropping items. I should definitely show you this.
No, I don't. Oh God, not
Well,
this.
I
Not
gotta
dropping
explain
items.
it to you because it's so good. It is so
Okay,
good.
now let's go over dropping items here. I'm gonna go to your screen here.
Okay.
Now, I did learn your lesson about going over to dropping them at shrine. That makes a lot of sense. Actually, I have no idea why that works, but it does make sense. Item no exist, item pool lower, then you add item to low pool and make pool bigger. But
so the reason that it works well. So this is basically how it works. Look at my mana right now, 270. I'm about to be 300 out of 475. Watch what happens when I drop my Force Staff, and keep an eye on where the bar is. It's right here at the end, okay? So see, it's at the exact same point that it was before.
Yes.
The position of the blue slider doesn't change. The percentage of mana that I have is always the same, no matter whether my int goes up or down. But what changes is the numbers. So let's say my percentage is like 50%. If I'm always at 50%, I can lower my mana doing this. And then when I heal, there's less mana left here to heal up. Because if we do the math here, I'm missing 140 mana right now, right?
Yeah.
Watch what happens when I pick a Force Staff. Now I'm missing 180 mana. Because my max mana pool is higher. So if you drop it...
if you make bar bigger, and before you get item, it stays in the same place, so then you only have less... Yes! Very good.
Yes, there's less to heal. So if I have an Arcane Boots, and I have a Force Staff, how much mana am I missing? I'm missing 245 plus 19. So it's like 260. And when I drop Force Staff, now I'm only missing 220. So now when I use Arcane Boots, which is 160 mana, look, it's already given me... Now I'm only missing like 70...
Now pick up the Force Staff? Oh my god, that's hacking, dude!
Yes.
That's crazy!
And it works the same for Soul Ring.
What is this shit? Wait, what do you mean it works the same for Soul Ring?
It works the damn same for Soul Ring.
So if I Soul Ring...
Watch this.
Drop your items now in Soul Ring.
Let's see how much... I need to lower my mana farther, I think, without resetting my cooldowns. Okay, so I'm missing 40... There's like 320 mana missing. And I'm going to have to wait for the cooldowns, unfortunately. Let's level up one more time, get this. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do... I don't exactly know how it's going to look, so I'm trying to double check my numbers. 317 here. I'm going to drop this.
Yeah.
This is what I'm missing. I'm going to press Soul Ring. I think it basically increases my bar by 150 is how it works. And now when I pick up Arcanes, I might just have more. Yeah, see? You see what just happened?
But what happens when the Soul Ring goes away? Does it take the entire chunk, or does it just take the 150?
I think I'm only going to lose 150 at the end of this going away. So basically, I did the same thing as what we just talked about. I had less mana to heal. So when I healed it, now it's a lot more. Because the percentage doesn't change ever. Remember, the percentage doesn't change. So I'm just tricking it. You don't necessarily have to understand how this works.
I want to see what happens when Soul Ring goes away now. How much goes away?
I should lose 150, I assume.
But the bar changed position.
I only went down by 600, or by 150. So here's without Arcanes. If I Soul Ring right now, I go up to 500. That's massive. 500 would be like here. If I have Arcanes and I Soul Ring, it's going to put me up to like 650. That's like here. So it puts you up to here instead of here, just by dropping Arcane Boots.
That's very big.
Yes. So every time I Soul Ring, this is all you do. You're like, oh, I'm playing fucking techies, dude. Techies. Time to Soul Ring. Drag it. Run there. And as soon as it drops, you pick it up. That's it. Boom. I just got myself like 70 mana. My Soul Ring is now a 225 mana item. Instead of 150. You like mana regen, right?
If this is true, this is big.
This is true.
This is huge if this is real.
If you have like, I don't know, an Octarine or some shit, and you're about to use your Arcanes, put that shit on the ground, pop your Arcanes. Look, I'm fucking full now. Like, 25 int.
Oh my god, it makes so much sense! All those items that increase your intelligence, that increase your mana pool with your attribute, if you drop those, your fucking pool is it's tiny. And then you do the thing, and then it comes. Oh!
This is why Kyle dropped his.
Big.
There's a good example in the chat. This is why Kyle dropped his Yules on the ground, because he wanted extra mana. Yes.
Okay, but you never put the items on the ground. Just put them in your backpack.
The problem is that if you do this, Okay, it works in here because it's demo mode, but then it takes 6 seconds for them to be active. Like, it's not hard to drop. Like I said, you drag it here, you let go, so your hero's going to drop it, and as soon as it hits the ground, you press the hotkey and right-click the item. It hasn't moved. My mouse doesn't move at all. I just press it and I pick it up again. So this is this is the speed. Boop. Do you see how long that was on the ground for? Oh, I'm gonna use arcanes. Boom.
This changes the techies game very.
Yes.
This is crazy.
This whole time you haven't been abusing it. I keep telling you, but anyways, that's dropping items.
Clearly, they're gonna change this. This is literally just broken. This is a mistake.
It has been here the entire time. That's why you drop items for shining. That's why if you're using bottle charges and you want to heal, you want to drop those. Oh, I'm trying to heal.
Well, I didn't know you drop your stuff. You drop
Bottling.
your stuff when you're shrining, but I didn't understand why it gave you more mana. I just knew that if you take items away, it's good. But now I understand with attributes why that. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. They're definitely gonna patch this. This is stupid,
Yeah,
but okay, I'll do
they're never gonna. If they change that, it would literally a lot of pro players would be really mad, guaranteed. It's a skill-based thing.
Have that.
Well, it's a skill-based thing that absolutely dictates some of being a higher level player. They would have to like basically the game would be less fun to play for high level players really quickly because everyone would have less mana all the time. Like that's the only reason treads are good, is literally because of this. Because you can increase your mana pool with int treads.
Oh my god, that's crazy! So you switch to int treads, and then you drop the boot, and then you fill it up more, and then you go back to int treads?
Int treads, look, I'm increasing my mana by 200 or 120. I'm about to cast a spell. I'm going to cast... So look, imagine if I cast Proxy Mines. I can only cast it like maybe 4 times. Yeah. But on int treads, I can cast it 5 times for sure.
Well, yeah, I'm not an idiot. Of course, it gives you more mana.
But yeah, I'm just temporary.
Like, drop the boots.
I mean, look how much that just cost me. I cast it with int, I switch back to strength, and it only cost me 81 mana instead of 110.
Oh, that is big! Okay.
Yes. But that's because my max mana pool right now is low. As the game goes on, tread swapping helps you less. Like imagine that I have like a lot of energy boosters. Look, I'll show you the difference.
Yeah.
All right. 1161. So that one gave me 37 plus 61. I guess it's about the same.
What?
It's like, oh no, it's less. Sorry, it's about 100. That one cost me about 100 mana because my percentage of my mana bar is bigger. So early game treads are huge. If you have a low mana pool, tread switching is fucking huge. Like on Wraith King, CK, those kind of heroes, treads are really good for that reason. Phase are better right now for other reasons, but if you want to, treads are really good for mana. And then obviously with the bottle treads combo is really good because then when you're actually bottling, you just switch to agility treads, and then you get extra health and extra mana, and then you go back to int afterwards. And here's the other benefit.
Hold on.
Something. Go ahead. What do you got?
Extra health and mana.
Just like shrining.
Because you took away your bars because you went to agility, which you don't have bars on those.
Yep.
So when you fill it up and it's on agility, it technically gives you more of those bars because the game thinks you have less, and then when you switch out of agility, it gave you more because you... Okay. All right.
You're healing a bigger percentage of your health when you have a smaller max health and mana.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
I just knew that whenever I want to do regen, I always switch to agility. I didn't know why, but now I know why. This is good. This is big brain shit.
Sorry, I'm just trying to spend mana. I want to show you something. Okay. I guess I don't have a wand. I don't have wand charges, actually.
Not the fucking wand.
Oh shit, he's gonna die.
You're never gonna convince me to get the stupid wand, but okay, I'll watch. That does not stack, sir.
I know.
Oh, you're just getting wand charges. Okay.
Let's say I'm playing techies, and my mana is getting low. I have to roll back. Oh shit. Oh shit, I need to heal with my wand. Let's say I'm really low mana.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna drop the arcane boots. I'm gonna wand. I'm full mana.
Whoa! Whoa! That's big! That's big!
Yeah.
There's a whole fucking man pool right there!
Yes.
I understand the stupid wand now! You can do your whole bar! And you bring your items back
Yeah,
in!
that was half my mana pool.
Whoa!
Because
That's real magic!
That's
crazy!
A max wand is 300 health, 300 mana.
That's actual magic!
Yes. Because arcane boots is a lot of raw mana increase, so
oh my god!
early on in the game, yeah. If you're like Warlock and you're completely out of mana, you could drop arcanes, pop your wand, and be at like 50%.
Bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna admit something really stupid right now. Please don't make fun of me.
Okay.
I had no idea what Morphling... I didn't understand. Now I know. Attribute shift is what he do. I just know when he hurt more, he die faster. Now I understand. This is what I literally had no idea how the hero functions. I just know how to kill it. I didn't know about its history or why it do things. Strength gives... He'll have bigger health, but he can't hurt you as much. I knew that. It's all coming together.
So
it's all coming together.
Do you know why Morphlings are really happy with Eye of Scotty?
Yes, because it gives attributes. 25 attributes. That's crazy.
And you can, if you have 25 extra strength from an item, you're going to feel more comfortable strength morphing another 25 strength to agility. So effectively, Eye of Scotty for Morphling is a 50 agility, 25 int item. So it's actually a good damage item for him. Does that make sense? Because he can shift his agility, or his strength to agility. You can't shift all of your item ones. Like if you see the green numbers, the green numbers are the item ones. The white ones are your base stats. So if you see him at 1 strength here, that's because that's his base stat. So I can't shift it anymore. But my health is actually kind of reasonable at this point, even though I'm max shifted. And that's because Eye of Scotty gives you a lot of raw health. So not only does it give you...
The health bars... Why are they green? Why aren't they red? Wouldn't that be better?
What do you mean?
Red means health. Why are they green?
Because this is an ally. Enemy health bars are red.
Well, no, but I'm saying, like, you know, red mean health, green is agility. Why are health bars green? That seems pretty stupid. Whatever. Anyway, I get it now. Doesn't matter.
Ask Blizzard.
Okay, I get it. This is very interesting. So, I used to play Morph without skilling Morph because I didn't understand. Now I do.
I'm glad I was never around for those days. Jesus.
Why does it stun longer when you get more agility?
It doesn't. It does more damage. Look, read the skill. Damage max agi multiplier. That's damage. The stun one, stun max, is based on how much strength you have. If the strength is 50% higher than his agility, then the stun is high. So basically, when they're running for their lives, make sure the strength has to be higher, so I have to morph really far. So now it'll probably do like a max stun duration. Not even. I could do more.
See. How far can you go on the Morphling? Can you just hold it forever?
Yeah, it can. It's not doing anything right now because I'm out of agility, but it makes the animation. So this is the max durations and stun duration that you can have.
That's very good.
But if you do that, look at my attack. What's my attack speed going to be like right now?
Very low, very slow, because you have 0 agility. Well, that's pretty fast.
Well, I don't have 0 because I have all these items. Butterfly gives attack speed. It gives it. See the green number is still really high. I'll leave treads and Lincolns. And look at my damage. My damage is only 53. So not only, so my health is high, my health regen is high, my magic resistance is a bit higher. I'm getting, if you look right where the strength bar, I want to point to it, but it's above the green one. If it shows how much magic resistance I'm getting from strength. It's 19.1%. It's kind of a lot.
All right.
But look at my armor now. I've got 3 armor only when I'm max strength. If we switch and go to agility, look, my armor and damage are going up. My movement speed is going up by a little bit.
All right.
But now
this explains everything.
Now the magic resistance is only 1.7. My health is really low, but I attack super fast, and I deal 200 damage. So
this makes perfect sense to me. So what? I always knew how to kill morphs and how to play with them, but I didn't understand it. But now I do. My strategy for killing Morphling is get a very high burst damage hero,
Mm-hmm.
usually a support. A Necrophos is great because it does giant magical damage, and when he swoops in, you kill him because he's weak. Now I know why. Because his armor might be high, but his health pool isn't, so he's susceptible to magical damage,
Mm-hmm.
which the more that he morphs, the less strength he is. That's why you can kill him when he's on the aggressive. And when he's on the defensive, he has mostly health, but he can't attack you. I
Yes.
understand now
And
my
and
my
the, and the
target.
and the reason why Necro's ulti works well is because it does damage based on how much health is missing. So even if Morphling has 6,000 health, his ulti still does a lot of damage. Like Morphling's like Necro's ulti basically does the same percentage of damage to Morphling whether he's like low health or high health, more or less.
That's crazy.
The only difference is that Morphling would have more magic resistance because he has so much strength. But
Okay.
it's it's only so
This
much.
is good. I used to just kill the people without knowing about them. Now I know why I can kill the people.
Okay. Do you
Very
understand?
strong.
Do you understand why things like Glimmer and Force are better on supports now? Again, because your armor and health are kind of low, so it's safer to just like get out of danger than it is to like.
Yeah,
Like-
try to beef up. There's
Yeah,
no
they-
reason to try to beef up because your base stats are so low that it's not really going to matter if you buy like a heart.
Yeah,
on
and
Crystal
you don't
Rating.
have enough. You don't have enough net worth to really like. Imagine you have offlane heroes that farm all game. Those guys are just trying to beef up enough. They can kind of do it because they have more net worth, and their heroes are naturally tankier. Supports trying to do that is like unrealistic. You like your job as a support is to try to like stay alive as long as possible, so that you can experience when enemies die, and also so that you can continue to cast your spells multiple times. So
And
things
this is
like
great.
Yule's Force, even Yule's is kind of bad defensively because it only like delays your death by 2.5 seconds usually. But things like Force, Glimmer, are generally better.
This is also going to help my flaming a lot. Yesterday I was playing with a Sven and he rushed Lincoln Sphere, and it was hard for me to convey why that was stupid. Now I
Yeah.
can say, what do you need +5 mana regen and 13 alt attributes when you could be getting an item that magnify your strength, like a strength item,
Well, what
like
is
the Echo Saber.
what does
No?
Sven get from
Yes.
these 13 attributes?
I mean, more damage and shit, but it's
How,
fucking
how much
bad.
more? How much more?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's
He gets
13.
more though.
If he gets 13 strength, that's 13 damage. So this is a 5,000 gold item, and it gives him 13 damage. It gives him like 260 health. It gives him 2 armor. Gives him 13 attack speed, and it gives him like 150 mana, and it gives him HP and mana regen for 5,000 gold.
Whereas an Echo Saber
He could buy-
is half price, and it gives 12 strength, which is plus on top of 12 damage.
He could
Which
buy
is
an
damage.
armlet, which costs 2,380 gold, and when he turns it on,
Yes.
it gives him 65 damage,
Wow.
25 attack speed, 9 armor, for only
Armlet makes a lot more
2,380
sense
gold.
now.
It is
My god.
It's a fuckload of damage for 2,300 gold. Only on strength heroes because it increases your strength. It gives the most to them.
Yes. That makes sense though. That makes perfect sense now for
Yes.
why Armlet is so scary on CK.
Yes,
Now
you
I know
turn it
why
on
he gets all that damage. That's fucking crazy.
because do you know how illusions work, damage-wise?
Let's save that for another day. My mind's been blown a little bit too many times here. I'm kind of running. I can feel my brain is running out of abilities. But I think I gotta call it. I'm learned a lot today. A lot of attributes.
Attributes.
Whew, that's nuts. I gotta read through all the heroes and see what their things are. Now that I know what armor is, maybe I could pick better supports. What's Witch Doctor's armor?
It's
This is
pretty
very
bad.
big.
1.1.
Wow.
But he does have a
I
6.
gotta spend some. I gotta spend
six
some
armor
time with the
talent.
stats page. This is
Yes.
this is pretty interesting to
You
me.
got to look over talents too. Talents, you got to look over items. Look at some items that you've never bought before and start thinking about whether they're good. Hey, Necro gives 20 strength at level 3. Is that good? Now you know. Now you know what that means. That's why
Okay, cool.
Beastmaster and Lycan buy Necro, because it gives damage, and the summons also work well with the hero. You know?
I mean, you guys can make fun of me as much as you want, but I naturally picked up on all this stuff without having any fucking idea what any of it meant.
That's
so this
true.
is this is good. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Purge. What a wonderful episode. I think I learned a lot. Not so much about
You did.
gameplay, honestly, but now I understand Dota. Very interesting.
This makes a lot more sense why you were so fucking stubborn about item builds at all stages of the game. It makes a lot more sense.
Well,
Because
when you don't know what magic
literally,
stick do,
all you have is feelings about the game. All you had
feelings
was
are
feelings.
important.
And I was trying to argue logic with you, but you didn't have any logic to back up your feelings. So I would just bash my head against the feelings wall when you tell me that this is what works for you. Because it did, but that
Yes.
didn't mean it was best. But it's okay. We're over that hump now.
Yes. Now I understand why heroes get certain items. I always just looked at their abilities and not their stats. So now I know more.
Stats are a huge picture. It changes a lot. It's
That's
like,
why you don't get blade mail on Crystal Maiden, despite you don't want people to click on you.
yeah, because what you don't.
Yes.
Why would you say you don't get it on her?
Hold on, let me look at the item. I don't actually know what it does. It gives 22 damage, 5 armor, and 10 intelligence. Oh, so you do get it on Crystal Maiden. Okay.
For what reason?
Plus 10 intelligence. All right. Thanks,
Well,
Perch. Have a good one. Bye.
okay, man. We'll go over Blade Mail next time. Okay. Goodbye. Have a good time on your date.
Thank you, Perch.
No problem.
All right. Have a good one. See ya.
Okay. See ya. He didn't know what attributes were, guys. Attributes are like a truly basic component of the game. Like truly, it's really something you should understand. I mean, I can see that some players would be able to go their entire Dota lives without understanding really what they do. And Slacks is definitely a special creature. Very, very smart guy. But he misses a lot of... There's some things that he definitely misses. But he still was able to hit 5k without knowing what attributes were, which is definitely impressive. Maybe he can hit Immortal. Now that I realize there's so much that was missing in his understanding, maybe he's ready to level up now. I mean, but that's the thing. He knows to tread switch. He knows to drop backpack items when he shrines. He just didn't know why, which is fine. That's like understandable. There's actually probably a lot of players that are like that don't necessarily understand the benefit of some stat items. But he actually had no clue at all. He had like no understanding about the base level. Like all of these items were effectively meaningless to him. He doesn't know what any of these do. Other than that, this ogre axe, that these build into ags. He buys these 3, but he would never buy any of these things unless they built into something like an Atos. There's like so many parts of game understanding that he's going to be able to actually get now. Like he's going to be able to figure out why is Veil so good on Venomancer. He's going to get that now. He genuinely didn't know why before. Oh, it gives you 7 armor, gives you 6 HP regen, gives you 120 health, and it gives you 180 mana for 2,000 gold. And increases the magic damage you deal by 25%. And then he's going to look at Octarine, and he's going to be like, what does Octarine give me? It gives me 425 health. It gives me 700 mana. And it reduces my Plague Ward cooldown by 1.25 seconds. For 6,000 gold. Now he will understand.